Alright, man, welcome back to another reaction. Today we got the tragic downfall of the bikini hiker. Now, before we get into this one, man, viewer discretion is advised. The following video is probably going to be pretty disturbing for a certain set of the audience, and continue at your own risk. Also, hey, if you like the video, yeah, do me a favor and like the video, man. It really does help. Now, like always, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into this one, man.
Gigi Wu was a 36-year-old Taiwanese hiker and social media personality
I know nothing
who
about
captured
this
the
case,
hearts
by the way.
of many with her fearless spirit and love for the outdoors. Born in 1982 in Taipei, Taiwan,
Hey, that's
Gigi
when my
grew
mom
up in
was
a
born.
modest family that nurtured her adventurous nature from a young age. Gigi Wu worked as a photo model and started hiking Taiwanese mountain peaks in 2015. She was considered an experienced mountaineer and was mostly out on her own. After her father passed away in 2014, Gigi made a significant life decision. She quit her job and turned to hiking to cope with her grief. Exploring the beautiful mountains of Taiwan became her passion and a means of escape.
Dude,
In
that's cool, though. That's pretty dope.
2014, Gigi Wu and Alex Yang met on Jade Mountain, the highest peak in Northeast Asia. They were part of a climbing group organized by a travel agency. As they climbed, they bonded over their shared love for photography. However, at the summit, Gigi surprised Yang by shedding her gear and posing in a swimsuit for a photo shoot. Gigi explained to Yang that she was on a mission to conquer the 100 peaks of Taiwan, a collection of mountains on the island that are considered the most challenging. She had lost a bet with a friend, and the consequence was to pose in a bikini at the summit of her next climb. What started as a dare for a shy girl who had
Instantly
always
turned
hidden behind
into,
glasses
yeah.
became a tradition for a young woman who embraced her beauty and bravery.
Nice.
Gigi started on her bikini-clad hiking expedition and documented the experience through captivating photos. Little did Gigi know that these snapshots would soon catch the attention of people worldwide. As she shared her mountaintop exploits online, her following steadily grew, attracting admirers who were both fascinated by her audacity and inspired by her fearlessness. Gigi's early mountaintop photos on Facebook showed her with messy hair and baggy hiking pants, but as time passed, Gigi began wearing vibrant swimsuits, styling her hair, and striking more provocative poses. With each photo, her popularity
she's fully falling into the
attracting more attention and
into
followers.
the character.
Through captivating photographs and inspirational captions,
dude, I mean,
Gigi
look at that
shared
picture.
the beauty of Taiwan.
This picture is great.
Captivating
Not that one. This one's fucking great, man. I mean, come on. This is just stunning, man. Look at the clouds in the background, how it like morphs around the fucking mountain. That's so cool.
Photographs and inspirational captions. Gigi shared the beauty of Taiwan's mountains and the thrill of climbing these peaks. As her following grew, Gigi became known as the Bikini Hiker, capturing the fascination and admiration of people worldwide. Some people thought Gigi's journey was just to brag and get attention. They believed Gigi was using a flashy approach in a place that should be respected. But those who knew her well saw her as a dedicated hiker who wanted to promote and protect the beauty of the mountains. On Facebook, Gigi shared her bikini photos and included details about the route she took and the difficult parts of each climb to help other hikers. In July 2016, cool. When Gigi completed all 100 summits, her achievement received recognition. According to Gigi's friends, she wanted to take control of her body and challenge society's expectations. Gigi purposely posed in remote and challenging places where her determination and success would be more important than her physical appearance. Given Taiwan's current topography, with its steep mountains and difficult terrain, it was impossible to label Gigi's achievement as easy. Most trails are covered in wet bushes and follow ridges or stream beds, making them more difficult to navigate than the more frequently used winding paths. Despite the fact that access to this area had been restricted for many years due to military presence and strict regulations, Gigi began to bypass the authorized trails and push the boundaries of Taiwanese hiking culture. Even though Gigi wasn't as popular as the fashion and lifestyle influencers in Taiwan, she chose not to use her fame for personal gain. Gigi turned down offers from hiking gear companies and didn't partner with mountain travel companies. Despite her dwindling savings, Gigi wanted to remain independent and not let others dictate how she walked or what she...
Well, I mean, you can just negotiate in that deal that you want to be the one making all the decisions. I mean, come on, like it just goes to show how old this is and how little they knew about negotiating with sponsors and shit. Because, like, if you have any sort of you know, backbone or knowledge in the space or whatever, you can straight up just tell them, no, I'm gonna do what I want, and you just, you know, you guys are kind of just there.
She wore. Instead, Gigi focused on sharing useful information in her posts, such as where climbers could find water or places where cell service was available. In
That's
addition,
dope, man. Hell
Gigi
yeah.
cared about the environment and picked up trash along the hiking trails. Gigi made extra efforts to
So
assist
she sounded like she was just a good
injured
person.
or tired hikers and constantly challenged herself to explore new areas.
A good person with
Her friend
a...
Yang supported her by giving her a satellite phone and a Garmin GPS as a gift. Gigi's ambitions went beyond just climbing the 100 peaks. She aspired to conquer all 268 mountains in the Central Mountain Range over 3,000 meters high. Meanwhile, family members were asking Suren, Gigi's mother, why Gigi stopped working and how it was possible that she could not control her daughter. These conversations often ended in an argument at home. Gigi did not contact her mother much. Occasionally, she would call to ask her to prepare extra food for her. In 2018, she spent almost as many nights in nature as the apartment she lived in. On January 11,
That's cool,
2019,
That's actually
Gigi
hella dope.
started on a 2-week journey through Yushan National Park in central Taiwan. She traveled by train and bus and stayed at an affordable hotel often used by hikers. With a backpack filled with photographic equipment and food she had bought together with Yang, such as bread, cheese, meat, coffee, rice milk, pineapple cakes, and noodles, she started her hiking adventure. Initially, she planned to follow the famous Batanguan Historical Trail, but then she suddenly decided to take a risky detour via a dangerous, unapproved historical trail. Gigi had no experience with this trail and also no permit to enter it. Her route would begin and end at the Dongpu Hot Springs west of the mountains. Yang planned to pick her up on January 24th. Before starting her hike, Gigi checked the weather report. On January 18th and 19th, the skies were supposed to be clear. These were exactly the days she expected her hike to be the most challenging. On January 18th, she shared a photo on Facebook showing low clouds just before she planned to take the original trail down the northwest side of Jupan Mountain.
So she made it.
On the 19th, Gigi chose a path that was not clearly marked. It was a path that had been most often used in the past. She stepped on loose stones and debris that had fallen from the dense trees above. Because of the rugged terrain, she had to use her hands to support herself against tree trunks as she descended steep slopes.
This is
In
fucking
addition, she was dealing with humid conditions, which did not make the situation any easier. But the weather forecasts unfortunately turned out to be wrong in retrospect. Over time, the weather conditions only got worse.
Damn, man.
Gigi sent a message to a friend who had helped her plan her route. She had almost reached an altitude of 2,438.4 meters at that point and planned to descend to about 1,524 meters. Her plan was to set up camp near a river at the base of 2 long ridges. Gigi promised her friend that she would inform him as soon as she arrived safely. But unfortunately, her friend never heard from her again.
Man.
Around 4:30, Yang received a phone call from Gigi. At that moment, he had a strange gut feeling. This call came way too early and too soon. It was a hectic conversation of about 30 seconds, in which she sounded very rushed. Yang was trying to unravel what Gigi had just told him. He thought he heard that she had fallen off a cliff and could no longer move her legs. She desperately needed help.
Bro, what?
Yang knew the temperatures in the
Holy
mountains
shit.
could drop to freezing at night. He advised her to keep warm, and then suddenly the conversation ended abruptly. Yang sensed that something was wrong. There was a sense of urgency.
You sensed something was wrong? No shit, bro. She literally just told you that she fell off a cliff and can't move her legs. Like, what the? Oh, I think something is wrong. Oh, yeah, no fucking shit, you absolute fucking bozo. What do you mean I think something? Oh my god, some people are fucking... This just pissed me off, dude. Oh, I think something is wrong. Like, you sound like a fucking... absolute idiot, bro.
Ended abruptly.
Holy shit.
Yang sensed that something was wrong.
Really?
There was a sense of urgency in Gigi's voice, but not fear. He knew she kept her phone in her backpack.
Dude, fuck the urgency and fear. If she said she fell off a cliff and cannot move her legs, I mean, what the fuck are we even talking about here? Why, like...
So her equipment and food should be accessible.
Jesus
Besides,
Christ.
Gigi had traveled thousands of miles and reached the top of hundreds of mountains, so she knew full well what she was doing. Despite all these reassurances, Yang quickly reported her location to park authorities, who then contacted the Nantou County Fire Department and the National Airborne Service Corps. Unfortunately,
The fire
it was
department,
already
bro?
too late that day, and weather conditions had worsened. This
Man,
made it
so they
too
can't
risky
send
to
it
send
out.
rescue teams on
They can't
foot
send
or
out
by
rescue
air.
team.
There was
Man.
nothing to do but wait until the next morning. The weather forecast predicted that temperatures would drop overnight, but would not fall below zero. In the morning, it would clear up. The next morning, it continued raining, preventing the helicopters from taking off. A 38-year-old veteran, Lin Cheng-yi of the fire department's 3rd Squadron, called on volunteers from the Kalibuan, a group of indigenous people from the Bunan tribe, who are known for staying in high-altitude areas. These are experienced hikers who often assist in search and rescue operations.
That's actually
On
sick.
Sunday morning,
That's cool as fuck that they call on the locals to fucking...
January 20th
That's actually
at 8
fire.
a.m., a firefighter and 2 volunteers from the Kalibuan tribe began a rescue operation. Among them was Buak Sokluman, a 52-year-old tribal member. They climbed into the back of a blue pickup truck and began driving up the rough gravel roads, determined to find Gigi. Gigi had previously taken a photo with a member of the tribe during their encounter on the trail. With Yang's coordinates and essential supplies such as food, tents, clothing, ropes, and a portable stretcher, the Kalibuan tribe drove up a mountain road. From there, they moved on foot through unknown territory, determined to find her. Meanwhile, another team, consisting of 2 volunteers from the Kalibuan tribe and a firefighter, stayed behind, hoping to reach Gigi by helicopter. Due to persistent fog and rain, they too decided to continue the search on foot and started their search around 1 p.m. After descending slippery slopes for a long time, carrying heavy backpacks that weighed around 45 pounds each, the first rescue team finally reached an altitude of about 5,000 feet. This was close to the coordinates Gigi had relayed to Yang. The search team knew that she had lived for about the last 28 hours. As night fell over the mountains, they thought they located her. Tribe member Sokluman saw a form resting far below them, possibly a body. It was among a collection of hiking gear on a narrow ledge protruding from a cliff and ascending hundreds of meters to a river.
Holy shit.
A fall into the river would have been fatal, but it seemed Gigi had been lucky to land on the flat piece of land after falling about 100 meters. Sokluman called out, but his shouts received no response. He saw no sign of movement. The form below them remained silent and unmoving. Due to heavy rain and poor visibility, it was impossible to descend the cliff that night on Sunday, 20th January. The temperature dropped again, just above freezing, making it too wet and cold to build a fire.
I don't like how he said... I'm sorry, I just got so sidetracked. I don't like how he said Sunday, 20th January. Like, I don't like how you said that.
And unmoving.
I don't know why.
Due to heavy rain and poor visibility, it was impossible to descend the cliff that night on Sunday, 20th January. The temperature dropped again,
I don't know why, but
just
I don't like
above
how he
freezing,
said that.
making it too wet and cold to build a fire. Sokluman explained that the men had no choice but to retreat to their tents to wait out the morning. The next day, they attached ropes to the rock face and carefully descended the steep slope, which was covered with trees, wet leaves, and rocks. When Sokluman reached Gigi that morning, she was lying on her back with her eyes closed and her mouth bleeding. There was no sign of breathing or pulse, and her skin felt cold. Her backpack had been left nearby, and she had a satellite phone and cell phone on her right side, with a flashlight strapped to her left wrist. A silvery aluminum sleeping mat covered most of her body, but her coat lay beside her. In addition, there were scraps of food and drinks scattered on the ground. Sokluman assumed she passed away the night after her fall because she had no shelter from the rain and cold. She was dressed for hiking, but the clothing was too thin. When the cold hit, Gigi reportedly developed hypothermia symptoms, making it increasingly difficult for her to stay alert. After a while, her body gradually stopped shivering from the cold, and she experienced a false sense of warmth, possibly taking off her coat. Her condition worsened and she was possibly hallucinating. Her heart rate and breathing became slower.
Why you got a close-up thing of the heart? This is fucking terrifying.
She possibly fell into a coma, after which she eventually passed away.
Man.
The Kalibuan team wasn't sure what had caused Gigi to fall, but it didn't look like she wanted to take a risky photo. Her photo equipment was safely stowed away. The search and rescue team found her ID in her bag and reported her demise to the fire department. When experienced fighter Lin Cheng-yi heard of the terrible accident, he wished they could reach Gigi sooner, but at the same time, he knew that if they had gone against the force of nature, there might have been more casualties.
Yeah, further casualties.
Because of the unpredictable weather in Gigi's remote location, they had to wait 2 more days before they could start moving her body. Before helicopters could reach her, rescuers needed to cut down 3 trees to make enough space. At last, on the morning of January 23rd, A UH-60 Blackhawk hovered 200 feet above Gigi's body for a nerve-wracking 38 minutes. The pilot tried to keep the helicopter steady against strong mountain winds as a team lifted her body onto a metal stretcher. After the Kalibuan discovered what had happened to Gigi, the news quickly spread among the reporters at the elementary school where the search and rescue team was based. Soon the entire nation knew about it. Meanwhile, Gigi's mother, Suran, had gone to a Buddhist temple in Taipei to seek solace when police arrived at her home to inform her of Gigi's disappearance. After Suran finished praying and left the temple, a friend informed her of Gigi's tragic passing. Many people visited Gigi's Facebook profile, which had since turned into a tribute page. Messages about a loving farewell were mixed with photos of the mountaineer in the colorful swimsuits atop the peaks of the mountains she had climbed. Her fans applauded her for inspiring other women in her country to climb. She displayed unseen inner strengths that people did not know they had, and she served as an example to young girls who might otherwise have sought only outward attractiveness.
True.
While many showered her with praise, there was also heavy criticism. Some claimed that Gigi passed away chasing superficial fame. A few mistakenly assumed she had only climbed in a bikini.
Yeah, all the guys, not all the guys, everyone who's like, I mean, how do you go? I'm not even gonna speak on it, man. How are you gonna fucking, like, if this is what she likes to do, and this is what makes her happy, and this is what, you know, and she's not affecting you at all, then go mind your own fucking business and fuck off.
Way chasing
you know what I'm
superficial fame. A few mistakenly assumed she had only climbed in a bikini and blamed Gigi for her icy demise. Media around the world labeled her as Taiwan's stylish bikini climber. They downplayed her skills as a seasoned climber.
Accidents happen, man, and that's it's the risk of hiking and climbing and all that, man. There's a risk that comes to it.
Gigi was quickly associated with a handful of thrill seekers on social media who had lost their lives in the pursuit of popularity. Moreover, she was also compared to countless others who had passed away in the past decade while taking selfies in dangerous places.
What the fuck is that?
Her mother felt hurt by...
See, that is... I mean... That's a crane. That's a house. These are all trees. Yeah, so... This is a completely different thing than, like, hiking mountains, in my opinion. Like... I mean... I'd have to think more on that, honestly. I would never do that, though. That is fucking horrifying. Holy shit.
Moreover, she was also compared to countless others who had passed away in the past decade while taking selfies in dangerous places. Her mother felt hurt by these harsh comments. Some comments even came from her own family. Her mother insisted that she should have done more to discourage her daughter's risky hobbies. A few days later, Gigi was cremated in New Taipei City and was attended by about 300 people. Messages of love and support were written in a memorial book, and Yang showed a video that toasted his friend's growth. Gigi grew from a carefree girl playing in rivers to a highly respected figure in the mountaineering community.
Real and true.
A few days after Gigi passed away, an ex-government official highlighted that...
I mean, she climbed mountains and things that thousands, if not millions, millions of people, probably almost billions of people would never be able to do. So, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Majority of hikers in Taiwan
she did
were
things
undocumented
people will
hikers,
never be able to
and
fucking...
Gigi was one of those...
I mean, look at this. Like, so, ginormous amount of the population will never in their fucking life get this view, man. Holy shit. Like, this is just... If this isn't just awe-inspiring and, like, you know, instantly bring you a certain amount of respect for her, then I don't know what to say, man, because this is fucking... I mean, to climb all the way up here and then get this picture, it's just absolutely... It's fucking gorgeous, man.
People who lost their lives in Yushan that year. Many of these adventurers had changed their planned routes and ventured onto forbidden trails to circumvent strict regulations, making rescue operations more difficult. In response, the government proposed improving education about mountaineering and wilderness survival. Officials also began drafting legislative changes to make...
Education? Bro, education is not gonna... You think... Okay, but dude, that's not... I'm sorry, but education, you think that if she was more educated, she would... I think she was plenty educated. I think she just like he said, wanted to take this other route. Maybe there's some, you know, maybe it was faster. Maybe, who knows? Maybe there was people there. Something happened, but I don't think she died to a lack of education. You know what I'm saying? That's not, at least in my opinion.
Nearing and wilderness survival.
And this is coming from a guy who literally does nothing all day but sit here and watch YouTube videos. So, I mean, take my opinion with a fucking grain of salt, please.
Officials also began drafting legislative changes to make hazard signs mandatory in high-risk mountain areas, so that the government would no longer be responsible for these accidents. Gigi's legacy lives on as a symbol of courage and determination in the hiking community. Gigi's untimely passing sparked discussions about safety while hiking and the need for better education and regulation. May her memory continue to inspire others to explore the beauty of nature.
I don't
with
think it was
caution
education,
and
bro.
respect.
I really don't think it was a lack of education. Like, I think that's the wrong way to look at it.
Inspire others to explore the beauty of nature with caution and respect. Thank you for watching this incredible story about Gigi Wu. You can support us by subscribing to our channel. And don't forget to ring the bell icon to receive notifications.
True, really true. Hey, yo, make sure to go subscribe to Disaster Stories if you haven't already, man. Wow. Hey, yo, if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time, man. Deuces.